Good morning, BNI, and it's my turn for my presentation this time. And if you remember the last presentation, we were talking about what you do for the body work and the pulling and getting the inner structure taken care of. And if you notice down here, you can see where the frame has been ground. You can see where they pulled it back in place. You can see where they had to repair the core support mounts right here. We put a used core support on this. You can see where we've got painted areas inside here, and that's what I'd like to talk about today, is what we have to paint to make sure that it looks factory, make sure that it looks the way that it should, and that way when you go to sell the car, it sells the way that it should. So why don't you follow me now to the paint department, and we'll talk a little bit more about paint. And we're up in the paint department right now, and this is Ivan, one of my painters, and you can see he's got the camera for getting the color formula, and we're going to show a little bit about how that works today. But before we walk out there, I want you to look at the toners that we use to make every formula out there. You can see that there is no Nissan paint, there is no Chevy paint. They're all made with formulas, whether it's DuPont, Axel Nobel, PPG. All the manufacturers of paint use the toners that we make individual colors out of. And then we're going to grab the camera now. Ivan's going to show us a little bit about how he uses the camera to come up with a formula.
Okay. The first put a row number and make the car. Okay, and synchronize on the camera. Now the camera have all the information for the arrow number in the truck, and go to take the picture. First check the color.
All right, this is a 2017 Toyota Tundra, and you can see just how beautiful the color is. It's a very unique orange color. Ivan uses the buffing to make sure that the paint is clean. You have to be able to let the camera's eye see the clean color down below. So you make sure that it's clean by polishing it. And it's got to be free of any scratches, any imperfections at all, and be able to let the camera look down in the color, something like that. And then he's going to take the camera up here. Turns it on, of course. And now that it's downloaded with the information about the car and the RO, and you'll notice the lights. And when it turns green like that, it's happy. And you can see in the middle of the camera, it's got the three little dots, and when those are equal, then it's happy on what it sees inside there. You do it from two different angles, and you can see there it goes. It's a little bit finicky, which is good because we want it to be accurate on the color. And he's going to confirm it. There we go. There we go. I don't know if you could hear the beep there. All right.
Okay.
Now,
and later take the paint coat, the original paint coat for.
And I don't know if you can get in close enough to see the paint code there, but it's on the VIN tag. Every car has the paint code on there. So now we're going to walk into the computer.
The paint coat.
We're going to walk into the computer now, and Ivan's going to print out a label, and it should have a formula that we can now mix up with all the toners that you saw on the wall and be able to make the color that we need to spray the truck. So he plugs it back into the computer. The camera is now downloading the information that it saw from its eye, and now he should be able to print out a formula. It's come a long way over the last 25 years. We used to have to mix color by hand, and we had basic guidelines to go by, but you would have to do a lot of spray outs. You would have to have a really good eye. Mario, the other painter that we have here, has got an amazing eye, and he used to do that exclusively that way, do multiple spray outs until you got it tuned in there.
There's the paint coat, the original truck. Okay.
And not only does the camera sometimes use the original, but it'll pick the best formula out of 40,000 color formulas in the computer base. And then we can, when we print out the label, it allows us to put it right on the container so that the state can see that we're VOC compliant. We can keep it for future records. We know what paint we're working with, of course, you know, because you do get multiple cars in here. Not too many oranges, though, I gotta admit. You know, just a few. I happen to like orange a lot. My first truck was a burnt orange Datsun pickup, so I'm kind of fond of it, but we just don't see it that much anymore. So
Those are the colors.
And those are the toners that you use on there. And you can see the different toners that he's going through, and I know that doesn't mean anything to the average person, but it gives you an idea of how many toners that you have to use to come up with that particular color. So, and here's the formula for it, and it tells you in grams. Each one of these, O2 is the binder, and then you've got pearl white, and the different colors that go with that. Each one is a cumulative total to come up with that 448 grams total right there. So it's really advanced and coming a long way. You know, this is, I believe, about the 2nd generation camera. When we get into the 3rd or 4th generation camera, I think that it's going to be absolutely perfect. We still need to do spray outs and kind of make sure that it's what we want, but we're going to go look at a car in the booth right now that is a big Cadillac, and it's just shows you how big cars can get. In the old days, we all knew that, but you forget how big they are. So come with me into the paint booth and let's take a look. Well, here we are in the paint booth. This is where all the painting magic happens, and we've got a 1973 Cadillac Eldorado here. A guy bought it from Florida, brought it out here, and wanted us to take care of some things that he didn't especially like on the car. It had a wing on the trunk. It had Continental kit on the front fenders. It's got a big Continental kit on the back trunk area here with Elvis on the tire cover, which is kind of unique. But this shows you what it looks like when we mask the car up, when we spray it. You can see how the roof and the deck lid area are sprayed right now. Then, after it dries for a day, we take and sand this with 2000 grit sandpaper and then polish it up to just a really brilliant sheen. It takes care of all the imperfections. It takes anything that you might have you might see in the way it was sprayed, because you're spraying it by hand, so you do get little chunks of overspray or maybe a piece of dust coming off you. But when you sand it and polish it, it looks absolutely showroom perfect, and that's what we're kind of known for. We've been in the business since 1978 doing show cars, doing the TV show, and just we're really well known for our paint. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like here. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you on the next presentation.